Hi, and welcome back on Sports Kavi and Alan Foot. Curious Harry isn't here today, and Inner-Footed Football Chennaiyn is going to join us in a bit. Thank you so much to all of you who have joined us. We will be discussing, of course, the ISL match, which took place a while back between Northeast United and Chennaiyn FC, and of course, the probable squad that was announced for the Indian national team Merdeka Cup. Thank you, Arnava, for joining us once again. How are you? Did you watch the match? Arnava, you're on mute.
Good evening. Sorry. Grabbed a little of it because I was looking after paying my taxes as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Germany. So that took a little bit of my time on. But Northeast United, are showing what a potential they have, and Chennaiyn are not in the groove yet. I think they'll need a little bit more to get that Owen Coyle magic. Of course, they didn't spend that much on the squad, to be very honest. But Northeast United, maybe potentially the surprise package of ISL 10.
And who was the transfer, the signing of the season? Because a very important name is coming up of Mr. Mandar, who has brought in a lot of changes, positive changes. Things are looking very positive for Northeast United FC. Your views on what's cooking up in the club?
Mandar is one of the best in the business in India, period. And BFC is something that he's shown and proven what can be built if the owners, as investors, get interested, are willing to spend. I've seen him earlier. I know him since earlier days from the national team. I've got huge respect for what he does, how he does it, and again, Northeast United looked not an easy task. I thought, transformation might take a little longer, maybe 2-3 years, but he's brought in certain people, amongst others, Naushad Musa from BFC. That has enabled him to bring a lot of talented BFC youngsters to it. They brought in some quality players from Srinidhi Deccan as well. And from that perspective, I think he's done a lot of things right over the last, few months of, actually not months, weeks now. So it's not been that long. And I think, there's brewing something. There's something cooking over there, which is very interesting. And Northeast United were a talented team, are even more. I think if I look at Parthiv Gogoi, one of the most talented players in the ISL at the age of 20. Someone who I love to see in the I-League, Falguni Singh, who's really, really done well at Srinidhi, in Manipuri clubs as well. And it's overall, Ashir Akhtar, forget getting the goal, but again, Ashir Akhtar has been in and out. He's a BFC product. He played at East Bengal, has played at Mohammedan Sporting. He's been here, had a very good season at Srinidhi last year as well. So they've got it. And the foreigners, Philippa Tu was there last season, experienced midfielder. If I look at Mitchell Sabako at the back, solid. They've done a lot of things. Nestor Ablaich up front. They've done a lot of things right. And then if you see on the bench, who've got can bring on Parthiv's brother Pragyan. You've got Ibsen Melo. Yasser Hamid came on as well. Later on, Northeast United are a team to look at. And again, I think Chennaiyn have a lot of work to do, and it's not going to be an easy road for them. There's a long road ahead for Owen Coyle and his side, because otherwise, it's an interesting and to look at it. I mean, Northeast played very well against Mumbai City, and we saw yesterday what Mumbai City is capable of doing. So if you add it up, Northeast United so far the biggest potential of being a surprise package of this season.
Hi, Chennaiyn. Chennaiyn, can you hear me?
Good evening, Chennaiyn.
It's like there's some technical glitch at Chennaiyn's end.
He seems to be moving.
No. No. Okay.
No.
A lot of
Okay.
people have already commented about Pathib's goal. That was a tremendous goal from Pathib. Arnav, did you get a chance to go through the highlight of that one?
I mean, he scored a good one against Mumbai City the other night, right? That equalizer. And if I see today again, he is, who's shown what he's able to do. And again, important is, can he keep this up? He's been having a good phase over the last few months, and interesting will be if he can keep it going. On the other side, let's see how far it can take him. I think that's going to be the most interesting question in all of this. Now, how far can it take him? Because the boy has talent, and we'll be later on speaking about the Merdeka Cup squad, where I'm a little surprised that he didn't get a look in. Thought he could, but again didn't. But again, that's a different discussion. But because anyone who's an Indian attacker and is good and performs well, that's why needs to have a look in. So therefore, who knows? Might be a surprise contender for the Asian Cup next January.
Yeah, and also the list that came out today, it's probable list, right? So chances of
all good.
Yeah, sorry, I just went blank all of a sudden. Yeah. So I think so it's a probable list. So the chances of Pathib's name getting added now is still possible. Later on, maybe.
You always can, right? I mean, the boy is very talented, and he deserves it. Let's put it this way: he deserves a chance. And but again, that's up to the coach. I mean, even if you say you're gonna call up 23 players for that, you have the World Cup qualifiers in the next window in November. You have the AFC Asian Cup in January. And if you want to try out things, I think the October window at the Merdeka Cup is the last one. But again, we also saw in the Asian Cup, right, that for most of the time, Asian Games, that if Sunil is playing, Sunil is playing, and the alternatives are not being good at the moment.
And two other important goals, one by Falguni and the other in the end by Akhtar. The Akhtar goal, of course, which came in the 99th minute, was kind of avoidable. Your views on the other two goals?
Again, the third one is matches already gone, right? You're not going to come back. So, and it's a confirmation goal. So from that perspective, it's fine. And again, Northeast have done enough, let's put it this way, to deserve this today. And that's the thing, that they tried their best, they did their best, and actually got it when it was needed, right? So yeah, they are on the right track, and it's going to be interesting to see how they will perform away from home, how they will perform against other teams. I mean, we saw against Mumbai City that they tried to challenge them, but it wasn't enough. So therefore, Northeast, a lot of potential. Now it'll be interesting to see how far they can get.
And they are currently on number fourth on the table. Of course, there are certain teams who are yet to play their second match, so the positions will change. Uh, there's also one question on this: are we expecting a left back in winter transfer?
Todongba didn't do too badly, I would say, but could do better. But yeah, let's welcome Shine if you can hear us.
Right, Shine.
Yes, I can hear you. Very sorry, actually,
Yeah,
there was a
now
technical
you
glitch.
can.
So,
Yeah. You were moving at the start and then you froze like this. No,
am I
but
so
but
dumb?
I think yeah, no. It's you were shocked by the good performance of Northeast United. No, but jokes apart, Northeast has the potential. And again, it's good to see. Benali as a coach seems to be getting the right things out of the players. The foreign recruits look good. Um, as I said, the Srinidhi boys look good. So it looks good. And again, people are saying Merdeka Cup. I agree. And yeah, Abhishek, yes, Shine is having those problems, but we'll speak about them later. But again, I think I do agree with others who are saying, Sonia saying among others, that he should have been in the Merdeka Cup squad. I do believe, that would have been given this young 20-year-old the right boost. And we need attackers, we need strikers. So anyone who's Indian who's doing good needs to be given a chance. And I don't know how bad the injury of Ishan Pandita is. Ishan has been out for quite some time now. Uh, so that's the situation. But Northeast United at the moment look good, look settled. And again, Mandar and whoever's come in, they've done a lot of things right. And again, it's not only just on the field, but I think off the field, they are trying to rectify a few things. I don't know, those of you who've seen an interview on Northeast United's YouTube channel with John Abram, um, that he actually mentioned that it was actually the biggest signing of bringing in Mandar Tamane. And I think that's the main thing that this club has needed: someone who with the right football expertise to get um you know get that fire back again for Northeast United, get that desire, that burning feeling, sort of, yes, we want to. And also now to bring the states together, to the fans to back the teams. I remember in early season of the ISL, fans were traveling from Shillong. Of course, Shillong is 4 hours away. They were traveling from Aizawl, they were traveling from Imphal. Let's see. It's hopefully a good sign, and hopefully they'll get some more good results this season.
Yeah. Also, just to add, Northeast United have also added a couple of new sponsors, unlike some other brands that are struggling. So even on the sponsors front and the commercial side of Northeast United, they are doing much better than what they did last year. Shine, your views on the match?
See, I would like to say today again my prediction was correct. I told you yesterday Northeast will not lose this game. I was sure a goal or a draw, but Northeast really played really well, and I've been always telling this to Arunavoda and everyone in this channel. For me, this year's surprise package would be Northeast United, because the signings they have made, that would make the difference. And what we have seen them in the first two games, first against Mumbai City FC, a very good quality opponent. Again today against Chennai, this team looks far more focused, far more composed. I think their coach is doing a phenomenal job. I think they got in very good players and a very good prices. I think they did the buying, smart buyings, which we said that yesterday also we were saying that they got in Falguni, Dinesh, Redeem Talang. They got in players who could make the difference with a lesser market value. So they did their research correctly, and that is reflecting on the field. I think I was very impressed by the way they played today. Totally dominated the game, I would say. Nestor, I think it's a good signing. I think Onauda, what do you think of Nestor? I think he played really well today. Parthiv Gogoi scored the goal. Falguni again, a phenomenal game today. And I think the Akhtar, I think one of the centre backs, Ashish Akhtar, I think he
Ashir
stood out
Akhtar.
for. I think this guy looks very composed, and I think I think this was a good team effort done by Northeast United. I think plus I think their age, the if you see Northeast average age this today the playing age was around 28, 29, which is higher than Chennai, but this team ran and they ran to their full potential and they made everyone. I think Chennai, on the other hand, Chennai was very very much disappointing. I expected some sort of fight from Chennai, but that was missing. I hopefully that they would come back, but Northeast today was superb. And again, I'm saying this is a team I think would be one of the dark horses to go to the top six. Nobody counted them so much, but I more and more the games will go. I think this team will come to in shape.
Two back-to-back losses for Chennaiyn FC. Of course, it's just the start of the season, but where are they going wrong, and what are some of the weak links they can improve in the upcoming matches?
Chennai haven't spent in the last few years, and sort of the team has, I feel, like gone back a little, and has not really, yeah. Um, Also now Anirudh Thapa gone, who was sort of a talismanic player for this team. Crivellaro looks over the hill to me, injury prone as well. Um, so from that perspective, and I'd be interesting to see how they sort of Chennai rebuild. Owen Coyle is capable of that, but also the foreigners that he has brought in are not firing. Shields, Murray. So I think the club has still some work to do. But again, it's just 2 matches down, so anything is still possible. But they don't seem to also have the flair that they had under Thomas Brizaric last season. They at least played exciting football. At the moment, they're not, so they're struggling. So let's see how if and how they can sort of regroup.
Shan, would you like to add on to that?
I totally agree with Arunavada. They have not spent for a long time now. I think they need to work on getting good players in important positions. Today, if you see the game, uh, I think in the goalkeeping position they had Shomik Mitra. I think again a player. I don't think I should not say like this way, but I don't think he's ready for playing in ISL. If you ask me personally, I think he's a few of the players of them who have done pretty okay. Okay, I think Connor Shields was okay in some ways, but more job need to be done in that front. I think the defense lineup. I didn't find anybody so spectacular there. I think Lazar Sirkovic, I think one of the I think who was their centre back and captain. I think he had a very ordinary game today. So they are much more dependent on their up front. I think their defense and the goalkeeping position needs major upliftment from here. I don't think any of them. In fact, if you see their reserve team, they have got Ankit Mukherjee also in the reserve sides, and he came in the 63rd minute. So I don't think this with this team, it will be very very difficult for Owen Coyle to give the desired results what Chennai is expecting from him, because this team looks a pretty ordinary team and they will struggle in coming times. What we can see.
There's this question. Is it possible for Northeast United FC to change their home stadium to attract more crowd?
Where would you go to? Would be my counter question. Because Manipur at the moment is no option. And the other point is the logistics of getting in and getting teams out. Right? In ISL, you have to have a certain standard. Shillong doesn't have the facilities to host ISL. Aizaul's Rajiv Gandhi Stadium is not up to the mark to host an ISL game. And again, logistics of getting in, getting out, broadcast, all of those things make it quite difficult. So from that perspective, again, Guwahati is the gateway to the Northeast very often, right? You can fly into Guwahati and go everywhere in amongst the Seven Sisters. So from that perspective, I think, the Indira Gandhi Athletics Stadium will remain the home for Northeast United in the foreseeable future.
And Unavada, I would like to add here, I would say that they in previous years they had decent crowd. Because of their poor performance, the crowds stopped coming. to the stadium. So if they are able to put up good show, I was today talking after the game to Pawan also, who is a part of one of the top admins of Highlander Brigade, and was we are discussing this that they are planning it big in the next home match because they are thinking that more and more people will come in now, and with the support of the state government and the northeast management, I think they are planning a big uproar for northeast games in upfront, because if the results gets going, I think they will get in the fans. First game they had a roundabout average attendance of 7,500, and today's attendance, official attendance, I don't have in my hand. I can share it tomorrow. But I thought that today's being a weekday, they really the attendance was not so bad. If you see the last few years, where attendance was very poor. If you see last year's attendance was very bad. That wise, if they put in some good results, who knows that Indira Gandhi Stadium in Guwahati can see a packed house also in coming times. You never know.
That would be lovely.
It was a long weekend, so I think that also plays a role, right? People would want to start the weekend on a high note. Before I take up some more comments, I also wanted to know from people who are watching us right now, if you're watching the matches on DD Bangla or any other platforms, do let us know if you're able to see any advertisers during the halftime break or the start of the matches. Um, I was very curious because in the last matches that I have seen, I've not been able to track even one brand that the broadcasters have been able to onboard. Um, Geo Cinema is only promoting their in-house content and other sports that they are showing on their platform. So, in case you're watching it on other platforms, please. I think I already know the answer, but I just want to clarify for my own mental peace. Um, anyway, so battle for the sixth spot will be tough, as per Nev, Northeast Chennai, East Bengal, Kerala, excluding Mohan Bagan, Goa, Bangalore, Mumbai City as top four. Your views. Too soon to say anything?
BFC have to turn their season around. At the moment, BFC don't look like a top 4 team. And again, where is Odisha? I thought Odisha was very good yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Ogni, Northeast I can see. Kerala I can see. Chennai at the moment, no. East Bengal also at the moment. I mean, they're coming up with the match against Hyderabad. Again, that will be a test. And if Shine remembers, we spoke a few weeks ago. We said the first 2 games in the ISL will prove where East Bengal really stands. So therefore, top 4, top 6, too early to call. But again, going by form, yes, Mumbai City, Mohun Bagan are surely going into top 4. The rest we'll have to see.
Out of the Goa, I think Goa is also one of the front runners. What I feel, they have a very decent squad, and I don't think them also sleeping there. So my top 6 pick, what I can see, the top these 3 teams are more or less sure. Rest, I think it will be Odisha also. I think these are the 4 teams who are more or less sure. I think they would be in the top 6,
Who
but the
should?
rest
Sure,
who
you
should be
cannot say sure. Who should?
should be there. Sure, I can't say, but if you see Indian football for so long, but this is the experience. We know that these 4 teams would be there maximum. There would be 1 or 2 people coming in, and 2 more other teams would be very tough. I can't say that which are those teams. It can be anybody. It can be anybody. It can be anybody. So it's very difficult to last 2 teams to select the last 2 teams.
So
Hyderabad
Shan
FC.
wants to go.
Hyderabad FC. See, Akshata and I said it over the other day that Hyderabad FC has a very decent squad this year. People were saying this team is going divided into parts and many things. People were making stories of it, lack of sponsor and everything. But if you see the Indian contingent, I think their Indian contingent is one of the strongest Indian contingent if I see. If you ask me personally, they have players like the goalkeeper who recently played in the Asian Games, Gurmeet. Then they have Sana Singh, I think one of the finest defenders in Indian circuit right now. They've got in Sahil Tabura, they've got in Hitesh Sharma, they've got Mohammad Yasir, I think one of the finest midfielders in India playing for them. So Nikhil Pujari in the defense, who is currently India's regular in the top starting 11. So this team looks quite, but I don't know why people are writing them off. And come tomorrow, I
No,
think.
no. I think the problem was in the transfer period. I think a lot of people thought that they would lose players because, of course, their financial issues, transfer ban, this, that, everything. Transfer ban got lifted. They started signing players. They signed a very, very good Mexican defender,
Yes,
who could be one of the best defenders of the ISL. A Mexican friend was telling me. Let's see.
yes. I know that's the point I'm saying. And come tomorrow, I think East Bengal will have a very tough game tomorrow at home. I'm saying this. Tomorrow will be a very tough game for us because this
But
team
that's
is yes. Toto is not practicing with the team. Too much pressure to handle. No, Toto is not practicing with the team. This is a coach's stake. I think Toto will be part of the team if he's playing tomorrow. I think Toto is most likely to start tomorrow. So he'll be there tomorrow. But pressure is there, no doubt, because Jamshedpur match, I think what I've seen in Kolkata and talking to few ex-players of East Bengal, they expected Jamshedpur game East Bengal should have won that game. So I talked with many of the East Bengal ex-players and they said me this. We should have won this game. But tomorrow again will be a very tough game for us.
That's
I can
football.
say that. That's football, right?
Okay, so another interesting thing that happened today was the Merdeka Cup probable squad announcement. So before we move to that, if there's anything else you both think that we missed out on the ISL match today.
I think we discussed. I think again, good performance from Northeast. Chennai should be a little worried. And linking now up to the Merdeka Cup, Parthiv Gogoi, why is he not part of the Merdeka Cup squad?
Why is he not? And of course, I think there will be some pressure after tonight's match because a lot of people already took to Twitter to express their views on Parthiv. So it will be interesting to see how the AFF and our dearest coach comes back on this. So Agniv has a question. We should play our core team in all matches or give some new players chances, rest overworked players.
See, we're always talking about giving new players chances, but we've not seen any new players getting really chances, right? We're going into that core or players who've been there. So, I think that will be the question. So therefore, I don't know where we want to go with this because it's not easy and it's there's certain players missing. Again, Parthiv Gogoi is one. Mohammedan Sporting's David was also mentioned. Another player who's done very well for himself this season. We've got a lack of strikers, and I think the 2-3 biggest misses in this squad. One is Apuya, attitude this way or that way. One of our best midfielders at the moment. Why not there? That is what I say, and then. Again, the rest one has to see. I mean, I'm surprised that Sana Singh didn't make the squad, despite playing in the Asian Games. Rather choosing Lalchon Nunga. Sometimes I don't get the logic of what is and how these teams are being picked at the moment.
I've added the link to the squad, so if anybody has missed out on it, you can click on the link. I'll quickly read the names of the players as well. Goalkeepers Amrinder, Vishal, Dheeraj, Gurpreet. Defenders Nikhil, Roshan, Sandesh, Anwar, Mehtab, Lal, Chanunga, Akash, Subhashish. Forwards Sunil and Manveer. Midfielders Jackson, Suresh, Anirudh, Rohit, Sahal, Brandon, Changte, Udanta, Vikram, Mahesh, and Liston.
Nandakumar
Nandakumar
is in the squad.
Okay.
At least in mine. Not in Akshata's, but he's in Igor Stimac's squad.
I'll just quickly check.
All good. I'm just joking. No, I think overall, again, the expected squad, but again, Igor Stimac was talking about 2-3 players that he thought were good in the Asian Cup. He already interesting is that Rahul Keepi didn't make it. That's one. Another one. It's yeah, and others again. It's 3 players here, 3 players that side. So therefore, again, for me, big ones again. Biggest one of I think is Apuya. Ishan Pandita is still not fit, from what I understand. Rahul Keepi maybe has the attitude. So let's see.
Of course, a lot of people are assuming because of what happened in the past, a couple of weeks back between Apuya and our dear coach. Can that be a reason, or it's purely based on the performance?
Now I will say this, or you will say.
You start and then I finish. Or do we want to combine and become Furious Harry for missing Hiren today?
Yes, for the basic for his hard takes on all matters, but I would like to say that when I was seeing this, so see when teams are made, I always say that a coach has a plan. They have a plan and they have a belief in some players, and they get in those players who somehow I feel they did by them for the system or the way of football they believe in. So Apuya is not filling in the team. I don't think as a performer he's doing so bad that he should not be called for the national team. At least in the probables list, he deserves a call up, and this is something which is off the pitch matter, and everybody knows it why he is not called for. And this guy is one of the talented, I think, one of the few players who have the talent and uh, mental understanding of the game. Means with the ball and without the ball, also he has, I think, many senior players in this team. Without the ball, their contribution in the whole game is nil. When they are without the ball, their contribution to the game is nil, and they play in very important positions in the game in the field. So if you ask me, I think Apuya's inclusion in this team is somewhat is due to their personal equation and nothing else. I think performance-wise, he should be there in the team. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Onauda, your take? Hello?
I know
Onauda
you're
got
on mute.
frozen or what? No, I think he's got frozen or what?
I know you're on mute. You're on mute.
I don't
I
think
think
he's mute. He's got frozen.
he's frozen also. Yes.
Sorry, I'm back. Sorry. Can you see me?
Okay. Yes. Now you can
Sorry.
move.
Now it's better.
What were your last words, Cheyenne? I maybe missed it.
I said that his exclusion in the team is for something different reason, not for the performance. And the reason, I think, more or less everybody knows what is the reason. I don't want to exaggerate on that.
Hmm.
You
And
can just
also some
Google
people
Apoya and
and
Stimac.
and some people are saying, yeah, Apuya's statement and all that. What is Apuya supposed to say? If he wants to play for India, should he say, yeah, I've got a problem with the coach and the coach is whatever?
But he played safe. I think it was a very mature statement by Apoya
Huh,
for that.
No,
he-
it was an unnecessary statement because I think it made matters work because I know him a little bit. I felt it was a little bit if we would made it would have been people would say it was sarcasm. So maybe I take it like that. What do you expect him to say? To say, listen, the coach doesn't know his things and he's rubbish? Can't. Right? That's the end of career. So you have to make such a kind of a statement, which again at the end of it doesn't make sense.
Okay, I'll take a very interesting question, which we have discussed a lot in the past. Camp for Merdeka Cup.
There is no
Things
camp.
go-
Catch bus, catch plane, tata bye bye, go, land, play, come home, then play ISL again.
No, that is good. But for Merdeka Cup, I don't think we need so many. We are playing in Kings Cup. We are playing in Asian Games. And for what reason camp is it? We are playing against Malaysia. Our first game in Merdeka Cup is against the host nation, Malaysia. If you see their current football position in the AFC and the
Shine, that is the first mistake you do now. What is our lesson playing against Kuwait? What is our lesson playing against Myanmar in
But
Asian
one of
Games?
the now I'm saying Myanmar case was different, but in here too we will be fielding our full strength team and everything will be different. No, and if you see Malaysian football has already been one of the they have become one of the poorest Asian teams right now. Poorest, if you ask me. In the recent
No, no, they
performance,
were
if you
poor.
see.
I think Malaysia has actually improved over the last few years. They're not as bad as they would have been a decade back.
No, if you see in comparison with Vietnam or Thailand, their position in ASEAN zone is
Vietnam
what
Vietnam is the one of the rising teams of world football. Forget
in
Asian
ASEAN
football. So
in
so
Thailand. If
so
you in against Thailand
Thailand
also
is
they are
again, but the point here is, and Ogni's question is right in regard to what is the environment over there. Again, the
Murki
weather
Jalal.
will be similar to ours, but
Yes, yes,
on the other side, the issue here is going to be how will our players adopt? They have minimum time, so therefore, that's always going to, and that is a question which we need to ask regarding the players on these things, right? That's my concern, that the players are unable to adopt to what the coach wants from them in a short span of time. That should
correct.
be the question that needs to be asked, because if I have spent so much time over the summer, I have my core team, they should know what I want from them and then perform. So therefore, yeah, these are the realities of things.
And environment-wise, somebody Agni has again asked, how's the environment in Malaysia playing against them? That will also be a factor.
I guess in KL, I think it's in KL if I'm not wrong.
Yes, Bulkil Jalal, no? The stadium is
Hmm,
Bulkil Jalal.
that should be a full house,
80,000, no? 80,000 capacity.
80 plus thousand capacity, I think, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, yes.
Um, yeah,
They played a
should
very,
be fun.
I I think they played a very good game. I don't remember in 2007 when they had the Asian Cup played in Malaysia and four countries co-hosted it. They had a very
Southeast Asia, yeah.
South. They did it, and I think they had a very good game against South Korea, and South Korea had a very difficult time scoring a goal over there. I remember that. It was very very tough to score against them against in there. So India will have their jobs cut out. I think away games again will test our how good we are in away games, because all of the success which we have got in recent past has always been played in India. So this is again our poor away record always gives me a fear. Always gives me a fear. In fact, I used to tell always Stephen that when we used to go abroad and we used to play against team nations, I think only barring I think the game against China which we drew, and I think the game against Qatar when Steve Match became the coach. I think barring those two heroes by Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, our away record has been very very dismal. In fact, we were unable to beat Afghanistan in last time World Cup qualifiers. So we were lucky to get a point. Means we were losing 1-0 to Dushanbe. I think Simon Dongle scored a goal in 91st minute of the game. Last. So our away record is very very bad. So let's see, let's see. I'm hopeful that we'll play well.
Any names that you were surprised to see in the squad?
If Sana Singh is missing and Chununga is in, I don't know if Sana picked up an injury in Malaysia. We will realize it tomorrow, most probably, if he's playing or not. That would be the biggest surprise to me. And yeah, good to see Vikram Pratap getting a chance. I think that's a good sign. The boy has also yesterday shown what he's capable of. Interesting will be what our Mohun Bagan fans are saying about Liston Colasso. I thought he has had a decent start to the ISL. He was not as bad
Yes.
as he was last season. Let's be honest about that. Mahesh hasn't had the best of starts, hasn't had the best of weeks. Yeah? A lot of hype around him in the last 2 months.
Yes.
Udanta, tough one. How does he make it? And interesting will be also in the creative positions. I've got Sahal, I've got Brandon. How do they play it? While Udanta makes it, Bipin doesn't make it. That's also an interesting observation, I think, for me. And yeah, and again,
What about the Nikhil Pujari?
Nikhil Pujari is in.
No, you think he's justified? his inclusion?
At the moment, yes.
You
At the moment,
don't you
yes.
think
I think
that in that position Pritam could have been better?
the question is, does the coach have trust in Pritham, or does he have trust in, let's say, Ashish Rai?
Ashish Rai. I think Ashish Rai.
So I don't think he has a trust in those players. And again, I see more likely if he's fit and ready to go, because he's not going to play in the next 2 weeks most probably. Roshan Singh most probably will get a look in after his red card the other night.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Why? If I what I've seen of Nikhil Pujari, barring that Hero Intercontinental Game Cup when they played quite well in Kalinga Stadium.
No, but he was
What I've
also
seen is
good in the semi-final. No? In the semi-final of the SAF, he was also good against Lebanon.
he was good, but if you see when we played against Iraq in that game, if you remember that game, and that guy played for 90 minutes, whole 90 minutes, and and he was not substituted for whole of the match. Somehow against very good quality opponents, he's prone to make more defensive errors. What I feel, and he doesn't have that international experience, match experience in compared to others. You know, Ashish is better off, I think, if he would have gone in a look. Ashish Rai will, I think, he has got more quality in offer than Nikhil Pujari. With all due respect.
It's the decision of the coach. SKN, very valid point. Yasir, used to be a regular, injury out. Again, there have been some of these churns which again, there are players that coaches like.
We
That's
don't
why they're
know
in.
what is the reason now. Few things we don't know now. This is thing which are these are the things we really don't know. So why Yasir is not taking? I don't know. Yasir
See,
has
this is
improved
this
also.
is this is a thing where I would say normally, ideally, you would have a press conference and you could ask the coach, why have you picked players, this player, why have you not picked that player? That would, that interactivity would be interesting to understand the thought process behind the selection of certain players, or the thought process behind not selecting. Yeah. So therefore, let's see.
I have a question on this. That of course we know, all of us know what happened for the Asian Games. So there's a lot of debate on the sport. And after our performance against Saudi Arabia, Igor did come out and say that there's a lot of thought that needs to be put. Um, After the first couple of matches, he said that there are certain players that he has been able to identify and would like them to work in the senior team. Um, and of course, 48 hours was the time that he gave to himself, and that I'll sit down with the decision makers and we'll mutually decide on what route to take for Indian football, and basis on that he will decide on his extension as well. Amidst all of this, were you expecting the squad to be out today? I personally thought that some discussion will take place once he comes back and has a conversation with people at AIFF or FSDL and clubs, and
I think there's no control. If you see, I would say there's no control. If you see a person is giving numerous interviews, he's not coming to the press conference. In fact, I was talking to Ashish when he was covering Kings Cup. Our coach didn't came for the press conference, but he came for live interview with another journalist, sports journalist, and the Indian journalists were traveling. I think very bigger few only travels to cover India's away games, and Ashish being one of them, he went to travel that game. And what Ashish saw was our coach doesn't thumbs up for the press conference, and both of the games he skipped the press conference. So I don't think, and he doesn't get the so-called notice, or he doesn't get a warning letter from AIFF. And what I'm hearing, he's getting extension. So I think he has also taken his place for granted that whatever I may do, nothing will happen, and I would continue to do what I am doing right now. This is something I not needed. No, you should discuss with AIFF. No, he's not discussing with fans, and the media people will not help you out. I think AIFF will help you out in the near future. No, and AIFF is also not bothered. I think they are also happy. I think somehow I think the present AIFF has been able to have a good relationship with the present coach. They are having good understanding. It's a good sign also because I think in previous I've never seen a coach given so much free hand where he has the right to talk anywhere and except in the press conferences where he should talk.
No professional setup, I say. I mean, in no professional setup or organization will someone
Akshay, this professional sort of
conversation
कैसे
is.
आएगा? I remember calling one guy from AFA media team for last 6 months. Onawala knows him, and and Harry was also one of them. And we were given only dates and time. We will do this. We'll do this. We'll do this. We'll do this. We'll do it. This is simple thing. These are simple things. And if you get in people who have people who have no media interaction experience, and you make them the head and running this is the way it is handled. And currently, if you see, you can only get Mr. Stimac's interview if you have uh, a link up with that gentleman, not Stimac, the gentleman whose name I'm not mentioning here, who's given us 6 months time that he'll come. But he currently took after the media person. So it's a sad state of affairs. No control, no control. And I think nobody's bothered also. I think no one has bothered. I think I've written many times to Saji also because we interacted in phone. Nothing happened because it's something people are not bothered, and that makes me feel why I am so bothered.
But it's
Right.
also worrisome that somebody who works in your organization is only interacting to all the stakeholders through the press or or through other media outlets or through Twitter or social media.
No, through
That is
specific
what.
me. I think you have to, point blank say it. That it is about being on a particular channel, speaking to particular journalists, interacting with the fans on Twitter or Instagram, but not doing the media work which is part of your job, right? And again, that's the point. He said, I'll pick some boys from the under 23s for this. So now is picking Dheeraj, is picking Chununga. Is that picking under 23 boys? I don't know. There's no reason given for, decisions are just made. So I don't know.
There's a question for Shine. EB and Hyderabad match. Tough match
Your
for
thoughts?
East Bengal considering.
Yes. I'm saying it's a tough game for us. And I've told this today to one of our fan club, and we were discussing this, and to EBRP, one of the members there, and I thought this would be a very, very tough game for them. And don't underestimate Hyderabad. Hyderabad is a very good team, and because we live in a different world, then other India stays in another different world. So our reality check should come in after the Jamshedpur game, and I think Hyderabad will be very, very tough for us. Again, a game where people are expecting in Kolkata we should win, but reality is something different. And I think to Quadrat after the first game, I think he has somewhat got in this foreigner, and people have started believing that this foreigner can be the new messiah for our defense after Jordan Elsey left. And time will say that, but I think Israel will have a tough game tomorrow. And I am saying it again and again. Prediction I can't give tomorrow because that is something. Akshat, I'm very sorry. My prediction for tomorrow, I can't tell here.
You don't want to
You can
jinx
guess.
it, right? It's your team.
No, but again, if he's not coming out with the prediction, we know then which way he's going actually, right?
No.
Also, Shine, will you be back with the other background tomorrow?
Yes,
East Bengal
tomorrow.
background.
No,
Yes.
tomorrow I think he will come with a new background. This is, of course, his living room and his piano. Maybe tomorrow he will show us a little bit of a picture of his kitchen or
Yes.
dining area. We don't want to get too personal, that those areas should be private. So therefore, maybe or maybe his study room, the place that Cheyenne works at. So let's see.
Nandan has asked when will we see Parthiv in national team? Hopefully, I think after tonight's match and after
Ask
whatever the
ask
fans
ask
said.
the coach.
Yes, ask the coach. Tag him on Twitter and ask him that.
I
Hopefully.
will reply you. 100% he will reply you. This I'm guarantee of you.
But that is the last reply. After that, he'll block you. But okay, that's.
Okay, I don't know. Cheyenne has refused to give his prediction for tomorrow's match, but what about?
Whew, it's a tough one, I want a positive outcome for East Bengal, but I feel again we've not seen Hyderabad so far properly as well. So therefore, difficult to judge. Some of the foreigners have just come in, so yeah, let's go with a draw.
Guys, tomorrow again, hopefully we'll be back tomorrow night with another live session where we will discuss the East Bengal and the Hyderabad FC match and other developments from Indian football. We are doing these lives after every ISL match. So please subscribe to all 4 channels, Sports Career on Foot, in Food and Football. Curious Harry. Harry is not here with us today, but tomorrow I'm hoping he'll be back here. So please join us tomorrow and do let us know if there's anything you think we need to improve on, or if there are any specific topics you would like us to cover. We try to make specific videos for them as well. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow night. And a reminder,
Thank
Akshat and I did a video on Mumbai City switching to the DY Patil Stadium in Navi Mumbai for their match against Al Hilal. Watch it on Sports Khabri and Iron Foot. And as always, subscribe to all the channels, like the videos, share, and let's grow the community. Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Good night. Good night.